The power grind in Destiny 2 Edge of Fate is insane, but just exactly how insane is it? For those of you out there that have not been playing Destiny 2, maybe it clocked out with the final shape, you might be wondering, hey, how bad of a grind is it really? How much time would it take me to hit maximum power? And how many people worldwide have hit max power at the time I'm recording this video? We are now 1 month in to the Edge of Fate, 30 days. And after 30 days, you can see here on warmind.io, they have the API for Destiny 2. There are now exactly 1,945 players that have achieved max power after 30 days. That is an extremely low number. And that is not just indicative of a low population, because there's definitely more than that playing the game, of course. It just is that much of a grind. Less than 2,000 players have achieved maximum power after 30 days. Now, how much time have all 2,000 of these players needed to play? Now, there's no exact way of calculating this because people will optimize more and less than others. Some people can take advantage of particular exploits, like for example, Encore that launched definitely ranked people up faster when it first came out and had extra drops. And some people found certain exploits and glitches to level up even faster than others. Other people have, they don't have a job or responsibilities, and so they can log in and play 15 hours a day. But on average, it's taken people, from what I've heard from all the different people now that I know that have achieved maximum power, it's taken them about 200 hours is the general consensus. Roughly 200 hours. If you're playing at a pretty casual pace, if you're not min-maxing absolutely everything, but you are actively trying to level up and not just roaming around, enjoying the game, God forbid anyone just, do the new raid, right? The new raid doesn't even give powerful drops unless you put some feats on, from what I understand. And even then, it's like +1 drops, so you can't even do the raid. But if you do log in and your entire goal and intent is to level up, it's about 200 hours. Now that spread out across 30 days averages to about 6-something hours a day every day since the expansion dropped. So unless you out there watching are invested enough to play 6 hours a day for a month straight, you're not at 450 power, right? Aside from people who can optimize really well, people who can, they have really strong builds and they're just logging in and playing nonstop. I'll give you a good example too. My friends would play Encore, and what they did was they were so efficient at playing Encore that they would just let 2 people clear it at times, and even just 1 person clear it at times, and the other person could then go to sleep or go out and get some food and come back. And so basically they just created a never-ending loop of grinding Encore. But half the time, one of the 3 players wasn't even there because they had to go, do homework, take care of responsibilities, go take a shower, things like that. Obviously, doing things like that is going to optimize your time significantly faster than sitting in solo ops, especially if you have a painfully slow solo op as the featured for the day. If you got a fast one though, like K1 Logistics, or you have the Caldera, you can definitely rank up significantly faster, especially when you get a good rhythm down, start getting those clears in just a couple minutes. But by and large, the average has been about 200 hours. Now, is that a good thing or a bad thing? I think that's way too crazy, right? I think that we definitely need to lower that, I don't even know, by half? How much? How much should we lower the grind? 200 hours roughly on average to hit maximum power is crazy to me. The fact that a tiny percentage of all of the players in Destiny 2 right now are maximum power a month into the expansion. I mean, we still have 5 months, don't get me wrong, but 5 months and then it gets reset back down again to 200. And then you got to grind back up. Bungie has already addressed that they're going to be adjusting it a little bit, but it seems like they're trying to be conservative with it. I think they want us to play the game significantly more now than ever before for this power grind. And I'm not sure how nice they're going to be about, taking the shackles off and letting us play, or letting us not have to be so repetitive in grinding. But some of the pros about the power grinding system, I would say, is that there at least is clear progression and you can play the activities you want. There are these milestones put in place. There's these reward modifiers. The transparency is there. It's just the fact that every time you complete an activity, you either level up once or twice or whatever it may be, or half a level, and you just have to keep going over and over and over again for dozens until hundreds of clears until eventually you finally get to maximum power. It's a bit much. Obviously, a lot of people have criticized variety over repetition because, it'd be nice to be pushed around a little bit more so we don't feel like we just have to play the same activity. The grind does feel really excessive though, and artificial. It's excessive, it's a little bit artificial, but it is the core of Destiny 2's gameplay, right? This is how you're meant to play the game from these lower tier missions. And Destiny 2 is meant to be an MMO game. It does have that grindy element, so it just misses the mark by a decent amount, but bringing it down to, I mean, 150 hours, 100 hours, I'm not sure. I mean, I think that we as a community, we get to make the decision. If the, let's say the Bungie actually wrote in their studios, like, this is, we want it to be a 200-hour mark, right? What are they gonna bring it down to? 150? It's wild to me that this is where we're at right now. Yeah, it's just wild to me. I think maybe it will be alleviated more when we have dungeons in there and raids in there. You know, the new raid they just mentioned will have new power drops. That's going to feel really nice. Will that help though? Will they still be able to keep it at 180 hour power grind every 6 months? I don't know. I think this is going to fatigue the community a little bit more than we might realize. Unless Bungie can start pumping in some new missions and maybe some new modifiers. You know, the grappler modifier is awesome. I like that. I think that makes roaming through activities significantly more fun. And there should just be a day where we should put more modifiers like that randomly out there. Big fan of that. I don't know what the grand solution is for all of this. You know, it's not my job to fix everything. I just thought it was pretty fascinating to see how few people actually hit max power after 30 days in, after grinding roughly 6 hours a day every day. Now, obviously, some of these people, they obviously have jobs. You know, you work your 8-hour shift, you get off, you get on Destiny 2, grind quite a bit. But 6 hours a day, every day, that's like basically like, this is like a second job to you. This is almost like a full-time job at this point. 6 hours a day, 7 days a week for 30 days. Y'all are dedicated. Y'all are seriously dedicated. You're out here doing the heavy lifting. You're cleaning out the mines of Caldera. My God. Let me know what you think about the power grind in Destiny 2 down below. If you enjoyed this video, then click on the screen here to watch another one from this channel. And don't forget that we're doing a monthly emblem giveaway for anyone that is subscribed with notifications on, likes, and comments on the video. We'll be scrolling through all the comments, picking random winners. So best of luck to you out there, and we appreciate you watching.